Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. In this one, we're just gonna rant really quick about the new Iron Banner mode because I think there's so many problems with it, and honestly, it just ruins the core of Iron Banner and just makes it almost zero fun to play, and just makes it a really hard time for me to enjoy. For instance, so before we go into all the cons that I have with Iron Banner Rift or Iron Banner in general this season, I did want to go into some pros that I found. Number one, I would say that it's something that is different than Control, and what I mean by that is Iron Banner has always been Control for like the longest amount of time, and I'm glad we got some kind of different game mode, regardless of it being good or bad. I'm glad it's something different than Control because it does bring a tiny bit of variety to Iron Banner, or a little bit of a breath of fresh air, if you will. The next thing I would say is good about Iron Banner is that Saladin changes are really nice. So the vendor changes where you can focus all of your engrams and just rank up in the thing in his reputation, kind of like how Gunsmith, like Crucible, all that is now. I think is a good system, and I think is way better than what we used to have. Gathering bonus ranks is also fun, meaning when you run Iron Banner gear and have an Iron Banner emblem, you get bonus XP for your reputation in Iron Banner. I think that's a fun way of incentivizing us to use our Iron Banner gear, and makes your loot matter a lot more. Now that's only three pros, and that's honestly all that I could find when it comes to pros. Like there wasn't a lot to really like here. Um, so I want to just get right into the cons and where I think the bulk of the problems lie with Iron Banner Rift. So number one, respawn timer is way too long. So when you die, your ghost is locked for 2 seconds, meaning nobody can revive you. And then you get 8 seconds to sit there, or 9, it's something of that nature, of sitting there waiting to be revived, or just waiting to be rezzed, or just respawn yourself. Which makes it 10 to 11 seconds, which is way too long for something like this. It makes it almost like it just makes it bad. It's just not fun sitting there for like 10 seconds after you die, and nothing you can do about it unless you have a teammate that's there to res you. Next thing, the transmatting. So when you slam or get slammed on, it does transmatting, and it basically puts you back to your spawn and all that, right? I think it's stupid. I think it's dumb. Because it's just a dumb little round waste. Like, why can't, like, if you want people to go back to your spawns, why don't you do something else that doesn't require a loading screen that lasts like 3 to 5 seconds? It's just a black screen, too. It's nothing that cool. So you're just sitting there hoping to transmat as quick as possible, and nothing happens. So yeah, transmatting is really dumb. And also, it sometimes bugs. So after you slam or get slammed on and it goes back, it'll say transmatting, say we're transmatting again over and over and over and over again. So you can't even leave your spawn. And it just constantly loops you back. And Bungie knows about it. They've tweeted about it. So there is that. My next complaint, only 3 maps in rotation. All 3 maps, those being Convergence, Bannerfall, and Disjunction, personally, I think are all mid to bad maps. Convergence, in my opinion, is one of the maps that, like, if I'm playing normal Control, I'll just back out of the lobby because it's just not a fun map to play again on. The lanes are bad. Whoever controls mid wins the game automatically. It doesn't make any sense. And, like, Disjunction is okay, but it's just like not. It just plays super weird, especially on Rift. I don't know. I just was never really a big fan of that. And Bannerfall, which I would say is the best of the 3 maps, is just not very great either. The place where they put the spike is weird. I wish they would make the spark and like it would go into different places around the middle. Like I don't know why it's always a stagnant same spot every time, but it's ridiculous. I don't understand any point to just not moving it. I don't know, but that's really all I have to say. The maps just don't play good. Six stacks are damn near unbeatable. So even in normal Iron Banner, I had problems with six stacks, and it's just because like they got comms, they have this, that, and they work together, and that's how it is, right? Six stacks are always like damn near unbeatable, but especially in Rift, it's even worse because if they wipe your whole entire team, even if you're stuck dead for like 11 seconds, 10, 11 seconds, you can't do anything. That gives them enough time to literally pick up the spark and just slam it. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. And then if you kill someone, they're just gonna get instantly res because they're just gonna take to the team, oh hey, can you revive me? And they're like, oh yeah, sure, right? So I mean, six stacks just get an absolutely disgusting advantage in this game mode. Next is the solo queue. Nobody plays the objective. Nobody plays it. How many times have I ran into solo queue expecting to play, like, find someone, pick up the spark, or shoot the spark runner, and they just never do it. They just run into their spawn. I've seen it multiple times where the random blueberries will just run into their spawn expecting them to be back there. This isn't control, dude. You can't play like that in Spark or in Rift. You can't do it. You have to play the objective. This is a very, very objective based game mode. You cannot just disregard it all the time. They also don't res you either. Like multiple times has like a teammate been on my X. They're just some random blueberry and they just don't pick me up. And there's nothing I can do to even like tell them. I could probably go in the team chat, but nobody goes into team chat. So nobody's gonna revive you, no one's gonna listen to you. So you literally are just like piddle pissing around waiting for someone to pick you up and it'll never happen. Next, your HUD goes away sometimes. So you mainly see this after like when you're in mid transmatting, you lose your entire HUD. So like by then it doesn't matter, but I don't know if this happens to everybody, but there's this bug for me where I'll just like lose my HUD mid round for like a little bit. So I can see my ammo line, my health line, my super line. I can see all that, but I can't see names or anything like that. I don't see damage numbers. Like I don't get it. I don't understand why it's like that. I don't know if it's bugged, but I've noticed it and it's really, really annoying because I don't know who I'm shooting at. Next, hard to see who has the spark. So when I say that is when someone picks up the spark, yeah, they have that little symbol up on their head, but that goes away eventually and it'll randomly come back. And when they have the spark, you can't see their name. I don't know if you guys notice this, but every time an enemy has the spark or even a teammate, their name doesn't show up. And it's hard to tell where they are on the map because the meter range doesn't really tell me much, right? So like I'm trying to figure out if they're close or far or where they are really, but I can't really tell because their name is nowhere to be seen. So I can't tell who it is, like who picks it up. I don't understand that. Another thing I have a problem with, like when it comes to like the spark like that, it's hard to even see when someone picks it up. Multiple times have I been in a gunfight and then after the gunfight somebody comes and picks it up and I don't see it because I'm busy fighting this dude. And I'm not asking for them to like block your whole screen and be like, hey, someone picked up the spark. But sometimes I'm in the middle of a gunfight. I can't hear Saladin speak, and I can't see it when someone picks it up because they make like no thing. Like I don't understand. Like maybe make a bigger, louder like audio cue. Do something because like I'll have a hard time telling when someone picks up the spark when I'm in the middle of a duel or something like that, and then I just play like nothing happened. And it makes me feel like I'm not playing right because clearly I can't tell what's happening. Next thing I have a problem with is you get spawn trapped all the time. So what that basically means is I will literally spawn and instantly just get toasted and die. Like because you have 10 seconds when you spawn back into the same spawn that you spawned in and they're already there about to slam on you. So they just see you, you run like 10 feet, and then they just kill you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Especially if they're a 6-stack. If they wanted to be assholes, they could literally bank it once, and then like hold the spike, like hold the middle so nobody can get to it, and then spawn trap you. And there's no counterplay. Zero counterplay. You can't get past it. Even if you sometimes spawn in a different spot, they just hunt you down anyway, because they're like, you're all the way in their spawn, so you get sandwiched. There's nothing you can do. It's ridiculous. Another thing, sometimes spawns you over at B flag, meaning you can't stop them from slamming. This is a big problem. So sometimes when they over push, like let's say they're spawn trapping you still and they over push and they get into the back of like your spawn, then you spawn where B flag spawns. And then by the time that they already took over your spawn, they slammed the spike and you don't have enough time to run over there and stop them. There's no time. I don't know like what to do in that kind of a situation. And I'm sorry I'm getting a little heated, but this is really, really triggering to me. As somebody who primarily plays PvP in Destiny, like it's really annoying to see when somebody, all they have to do to win is just run to the back of your spawn, wipe your whole team, and then You spawn at B and they already have the rift like ready to be slammed. It's ridiculous. Another problem, bubble and well lock means you can bubble on rift and get free stops or slams. Literally, you can, if they have the spike and or spark and they're running at you and they're about to slam and you put bubble on your rift, they run in there and they have to deal with you before they do anything. And you torch in there. And there's nothing they can do. The amount of time it takes to slam, by the time it means for you to kill somebody while you're in your bubble, it's not even fair. Like, you just, if you have a shotgun, one bang, dead. And if you can do it on their rift too. It doesn't matter. Multiple times have I won rounds because me or my teammates will either put a well down, like, so that they can literally get a free walkthrough up to the rift and they slam it and they can't do enough damage to kill you. Or with bubble, it doesn't matter. One of the two. Like, you can just get free slams. Like, easily. Just pop it near the rift at some degree. So that little, like, tiny bit that they have to run, they get, like, free, like, they get free resistance. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's especially bad on Bannerfall because, like, where this rift is at, it's on that, like, top bridge part in the back of your spawn. And there's a door right next to it. So a Titan or a Warlock can literally walk out, like, a little bit, use their super, and then the rift dude gets a free walk. And then, especially for bubble, right? Because, like, you place it, they run inside your bubble, and then they can just run over to your to their rift and slam it without even being hit. Or, like, even if they do get hit a little bit, it doesn't matter because there's nothing they can do about it anyway. Next, this is a little bit of, like, my issue. This has nothing really, I don't think it's, like, that bad realistically, but the overtime. So what happens in overtime is 3 rifts spawn, or 3 sparks spawn, and because there's 3 of them, I don't even know if it's like next spark win or next spike like slam wins, or if it's the most like 2 out of the 3 slams win. Like, what happens if one person slams on one team, the other team slams like near the same time? Does the team who slammed first win, or does it go back to overtime again? Because then eventually it goes into a sudden death. And is it like, what, next slam wins? Well, why can't that just be how it is anyway? I don't understand that. That's just kind of stupid to me. And the next thing I have a problem with is you never switch sides. Never switch sides. Whatever side you spawn on is a side that you win on, or like you either win or lose on. You will never, ever, ever switch spawns. Ever. Makes no sense. Some spawns are way worse than other spawns, like on Disjunction. I don't know, like A or C flag, but one of those spawns to me is way better because there's more environmental and other things around there for protection other than the other one. Like, so one spawn, obviously, like, you're going to have a bigger advantage on than the other one. And then the last thing that I have a problem with is sometimes when you die with the spark, if someone's mid-slam, the spark will sometimes, like, I want to say bug out and, like, drop on the rift, meaning when you go to pick it up and then you don't instantly slam. You have to, like, either run away and then slam back, or you have to just wait until you slam. And multiple times has this happened where my teammates will pick up the spike again, or the spark again, and can't slam it, and we just sit there like, well, why is it not slamming? Doesn't not make any sense. I'm not asking for like a slam button. I'm glad it auto slams, but maybe it should just be tweaked a little bit so that it fixes. So now I just want to, that's all my real cons. Now I just want to talk about a few things that I would do to fix this. Number one is fix the respawn timer. If you want to make it so people can res people, make it like 5 seconds, like half the timer. I think that would make it a lot better. And then the other thing is get rid of the transmatting. I don't like the transmatting. I don't know why you would do it. Normal Rift I don't think had transmatting, and if it did there, it was stupid then, so why even keep it now? Makes no sense to me why you would want to keep that in. It's just not fun to play with. So, like, if they took it out, you could just, I don't know, play it like normal Control or normal, like, Clash or however you would normally play before, but because it's round-based and you have, like, 8 seconds to where you can't respawn, it just makes it dumb and you almost feel forced to play the OBJ. Which I understand, like, it's an OBJ game mode, but come on, like, add a little bit of diversity. Some people should be more dedicated to slaying out rather than actually picking up the spark. That's just my opinion. Next, only 3 maps and rotations needs to be bumped up. Like, if we bump that up to, like, all the maps. I don't know. Let's just get crazy with it and add all the maps that were currently in PvP. Then it would be a lot more refreshing knowing I don't have to play Disjunction, Bannerfall, or Convergence, which are all 3 maps I don't care for. Like, I don't understand it. Like, there's other maps in this game. There's, like, a ton more maps. Like, Jav 4, like, you could have a fine Spark, like, there. Like, in that middle, like, top box, you could put the Spark there and put them on, like, A and C flag. No problem. Bada bing, bada boom. You have a decent, like, Rift in the game right there. I don't understand why that can't be done. I just don't understand it. But yeah, that's really like all the fixes that I can think of like right now. I don't think there's like gameplay wise, there's not a ton of problems that I have with actual Rift. I don't think it's like that bad to its core, but certain things that they implemented to change it for Destiny 2, I do not like. And those were just a few, those were just the ones that I could think of. If you have anything else that you would like to add, please tell me in the comments, because I would really, really, really like to know. But that's all I have for today, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscription. It'll really help the channel grow. And maybe check out my Twitch channel. We stream over at twitch.tv/itsaaronwl. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.
I don't know if I would ever want to do that. Because there's nothing fun about just stopping people. Well, there is, but like, not in that game mode. Although we both dropped Wii rans in that game mode, so.
Minutes left. Sound tactics so far.
Oh, good well placement.
Back to your bases, all of you.
It is the last string complete.
Spark after spark. Victory was inevitable.
5-0'd him. Nice.